everybody and welcome. We are here for the first week challenge following the release of my kit, A Gardener's Journal. As usual, there are some freebies which I'll share with you in just a moment. If you haven't checked out my flip through of my kit, A Gardener's Journal, I will have that linked down below. It's currently at a 25% discount. I said it wrong in my last video. In the flip through I said it was 20%, but it's not. It's 25% throughout the month of March. So if you want to grab it, now's the time to do that while it's on the discount. And yeah, each week this month we're going to have some different challenges and some freebies. So the freebies I'm about to show you, you can find either in the Non-Stop Papercrafts Facebook group or they are in my Ko-fi shop. So down in the description is my link tree. And there you'll find all of my social media links, including the Facebook group and my Ko-fi page. So if you go over to Ko-fi and in the shop, you'll be able to find these as well as all of my other freebies that I have as well. Also in my link tree, I have my new design team. I did announce that in the last video as well, and I've also put a post up on YouTube. I have lots of new design team members now. So come February, I think I only had 4 design team members left. I think I started with 8 middle of last year. But then over time, some of them kind of stepped back because they were going on to new ventures, which is obviously absolutely fine. But then by February, because I was only at 4, I thought that I needed to do another kind of recruitment call. And I was overwhelmed with lots and lots of people applying, which was absolutely fantastic. But obviously I can't choose everybody. But I now have 12 design team members and they are all amazing, creative ladies. So please go and check them out, show them some love, make sure that you are following them or subscribe to their channel if they have a YouTube channel. And yeah, I'm sure you're going to see some amazing things from those ladies. Right, on with the challenge then and the freebies. So as I said, you can find these in my Facebook group or on my Ko-fi shop. And they are different seed packets because that's going to be the challenge for this week. So we've got this seed packet, so it's reasonably plain because obviously the idea is to decorate it. I've got some different flowers here which will make sense in just a moment, but I've got some different flowers there. I've got another plain seed packet, but this time I've got some different labels down the side. And then I've got this background paper which I thought looked nice and grungy. It looks like it's been dirty, so if you are out in the garden it does look like it's already been muddied and everything. And then the final page is different vintage seed packet covers. So I've got 4 here for you, and that's where's that page? This comes in. So I have taken the flowers from these, so let's have a look. So we've got these 3, which are these 3 here, and then this one is this one, then we've got the rose, which is this rose over here, and then we've got this, which is I believe this one here. So it kind of matches up, so if you want to use these as part of the decoration you can, but yeah, I just tried to use some of the flowers that were already on the seed packet so that when it comes to decorating this you could use those elements as well. So they're the free pages. As I said, you can find them in the Non-Stop Papercrafts Facebook group or on my Ko-fi shop. So I have already cut bits out and I wanted to show you a couple of variations. So one I have made already, and this is the one that I've made. So this is a kind of standard seed packet. So I've got this. I did put some fabric underneath just to kind of give it that more kind of grungy but dirty look as well. So I've inked the fabric. I've also inked the seed packet envelope, and I used this time, so for the brown, to brown these, I did use my vintage photo. For the edging I used bundled sage, and then when I was doing my stamping I wanted something a little bit darker, so for that I used forest moss. So those were the 3 that I used. So this was the side that I decorated. This side I just kept very plain. I just used one of the vintage seed packet covers for that, and then it's now just a nice big pocket ready for something to be filled in there. So you can keep it as simple and as basic as that. Obviously you can add your own decorations. You could possibly as I say, use these flowers, and I have cut some of them out. You could have added those perhaps on the back as well to kind of decorate. I do actually like that, actually. I might stick that on there. We'll see. But yeah, so that could be an option as well. But yeah, I'm going to play around and do something a little bit different for this second example. So this is as it's intended to be. You choose a cover, and then you've got your pocket, and you can decorate as you wish on this side. But I'm going to have a play around. So I have done this double-sided, so I've got the backing paper on there. And what I'm going to do is actually have the plain bit on the inside this time, and have this more kind of grungier look on the outside. Now I think I'm going to fold it back this way first, just so I can see where I'm folding, because obviously these guidelines will help me. So about there. I'm going to fold it this way. Oh, actually, look at that. I can line up with the black lines on this way. That's a bit more helpful, isn't it? So let's do that. If this allows me. There we go. Where did I put my bone folder? Let's put it away. I was being a very good girl. Right, so there's that. And then obviously this folds over as well. So you can use obviously a scoreboard if you have a scoreboard, but I just find it easy just to kind of fold it and then push it down by hand. So that's going to go there, and then this last one folds up. Now I was never sure whether that goes on the inside. I didn't on this one. I actually had the bottom part coming out, and I think I quite like it out actually, so I might do that this time. And then this folds over. Now I've got a feeling I've made this probably a little bit too tall, or the line's in the wrong place. It needs to be slightly higher, but I think I'm going to remedy it by just cutting this a little bit shorter. So I'm just going to cut it just short of the line and then trim it down, and do the same on this side. That's better. So now it comes underneath the line, which is obviously what I need. So I might fold it this way first, just so I can see where the line is, and then that way, and give it a good crease. Okay, so that's essentially your seed packet envelope, and then the fun comes with decorating. Now, as I said, you can absolutely keep it simple. I'm going to make this one a little bit different, and I'm actually inspired by something that Sophie from Sophie's Crafty Corner did recently in one of her videos. So she was doing a project for somebody else. I can't remember who the designer was now, but it was for a different designer. And she had an envelope that when you opened it up, it had like lots of little pockets and things in. I don't want to put pockets in mine, but I like the idea that the envelope actually opens up and there's something else inside. And that's what I want to do. I'm just looking at this. Nope, that's fine. So yeah, the first thing I want to do is obviously ink. Now, because I've got the grungier one, I think I want a darker ink going round rather than this paler green. So I'm not going to use bundled sage. I might use the forest moss actually. So I'm going to grab that, and then I'm just going to go around the edge with that. Now obviously inking is optional, it's not something that you have to do. I just like the look of it, so I do like to ink. I'm going to make sure that I do the front and the back, and I also like to do the folds as well. Okay, so that's the back done, and then just going to go along here. Now I don't need to do along the bottom there, because obviously that's going to get folded up, so you're not going to see it anyway. So I'm just going to open this up a second, bend that back, put a bit more ink along there. And along this top. Okay, that's that bit done. Actually, I'm just thinking, because I am going to have this opening up, I do obviously want to ink everything, because you're actually going to end up seeing everything, aren't you? So I'm even going to bend it this way then and go along here. And I'm going to do the same down here. There we go. Right, that's better. So I am going to, as I say, allow this to open. And I'm thinking I'm going to need some kind of closure between these two to kind of hold it closed. So let's have a think what we can use for that. Okay, so I do have some offcuts which I literally just screwed up and put in the bin, but I've just pulled out of the bin. Right, and using, let's get rid of those, using my 1-inch hole punch, or circle punch rather, hole punch, I'm just going to cut some of those. I think 3 might be enough. That will do. And just going to stick them together. Oh, hang on, I'm just trying to figure out how this is going to be able to tie. Yeah, I think this is going to have to come up this end. Yeah, so I'm going to glue these together. We'll start with there. Oh, might help if I take the lid off my glue. So and I'm just layering it up just to give it a bit more stability. So I've got 3 there, and I think that might be enough. I'm not going to need that last one. Okay, before I play around with that, I'm just going to let that glue dry. So I'm going to have my closure here, and I'm going to do like a policy closure. Then what I'm going to do is it's going to open up, and then I want a notepad here. So I've got some tea stained paper, and I'm hoping if I fold this in half, and I do know it's too wide, I will sort that out in a moment. I'm going to have a look at the length. Right, now that I've got that, I'm going to borrow a ruler. And now I can get it to the size that I need. So let's have a look. So obviously don't want it exactly to the edge because I need for it still to be able to close. I'm going to use this first layer as a bit of a guide. It's always a bit tricky trying to guesstimate where your ruler needs to be. Right, about there. Let's go for that. Get rid of those pieces. Then I'm going to bring this one in and see if we can maybe do the same. Fabulous. Right, now the length needs to be shortened. Hang on. Let's swap those over. Fabulous. Right. So that's my teeny tiny little notepad, and that's going to go in here. Now I am going to punch a couple of holes and tie it with some string. I've got this really lovely green gardening string which I'm going to use. So I just need to figure out where my holes are going to be. Now you absolutely don't have to measure. I'm not normally a measuring person, but I'm just trying to see if I can get it roughly an equal distance apart. Right, so let's maybe go 1/2 inch in on either side. Oh, that might help if that pencil had a lead in it. Let's find an actual working pen or pencil. So about there and about there. So I'm going to grab my crocodile, make sure I'm doing the right end. There we go, fabulous. And then I'm just going to pop that back on there. And I'm going to work out where my holes need to be. So again, there and there. Right, take that off. And then I'm just going to leave that for a second because I then want to decorate the outside. So which one? So I quite like this one. Oh, can you even see? Am I too low down? Right, so I quite like this one. Oh, that one's quite a nice one as well, isn't it? No, I quite like that one. Changed my mind. I'm going to go with that one. Okay, so I like this. And I've got to bear in mind that I'm going to have my 2 holes punched here. So I'm going to have string coming along here. So what else can I have? Right, so I've got some bits of scraps of material that I've got left from when I was playing around with the other one. Or I could use cheesecloth. I do like my cheesecloth. I think that's originally what I was reaching for when I went for this, actually. Okay, no, I don't think I'm going to use that at all. What I am going to do is ink around this. Okay, so that's going to go on there. We're obviously going to have the string coming along the top, so I'm not going to worry about having it too close to the top. I think we're going to have that down there. And then I might have a little label down here. What could we have? So we've got planted, grow, bulb, roots. Grow's quite nice, isn't it? Maybe we'll go with grow. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So this time, just going to, not everywhere, but just add, whoops, a little bit of brown. And then I said I wanted to use grow, didn't I? So and that can go on there like so. Right, and we can stick this down. I was debating whether to do some sewing or not, but then I decided against it. It's getting a little bit late here, and I didn't want to be doing this into the night and then obviously waking up my daughter if I then start sewing, because her bedroom's in the next room, so I don't want to be sewing really in the evening. Right, that's going to go there. Now, because this is grungy, I don't feel like I want to decorate this. However, obviously when this opens up, this side could possibly be decorated. Oops. Although, do I want a pocket? Do I want a pocket? Because I've got these, haven't I? I could make a pocket, couldn't I? I think I'm going to make a pocket. I wasn't going to, but I think I will. So I'm going to fold that up there. Ooh, that's completely wonky. Let's try that again. That's a bit better. Then I'm going to leave bits up the side. Okay, that's kind of in half. Okay, then it doesn't matter if it's slightly lower, but I want to cut it about there. Yeah. And then I'm going to fold those in half. Like so. Now, you don't obviously have to worry about adding a little bit of a gusset. You can just stick the pocket down by just gluing 3 sides, but I like a gusseted pocket because it just gives more option to have more in it. Okay, so that can get stuck on there like so. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm not going, as you can see, all the way to the top. I've got a teeny tiny little gap. Do the same on this side. Right. There's my 2 flaps. And that's going to go in there. Right, so I'm going to give that a very quick ink around. And then we can get that stuck down as well. Oops. holes. Right. Okay, so let's punch in our holes here, shall we? Let's see. I'm not sure whether this is going to reach. It might do for coming in at an angle. Oops. And coming on that side. Is it going to let me? Yes, just about. Okay, so it has gone into there a little bit, but that's absolutely fine. Right, that's going to go on top. Where's my string escaped to? I'm probably going to cut it ridiculously long, but I'd much rather have far too much than not enough. Oops. Okay, so we're going to go out, and I think I might just do maybe a double, so kind of go around twice. Oh, let's try and line these back up again. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've got these, I'm going to thread one out one way, so it's crossing over itself, and I'm going to do the same on this side. And then the front part is the bit that can have the bow. So the first thing I want to do is just make sure that it's obviously tight enough. And I'm not going to, normally I kind of put a knot before I do my bow. I'm not going to do that only because if I don't do that, then it means I can change out my papers if I wish to. So once I've used up this notepad, I can then add different papers. Okay, so I'm now deciding, do I even need this flap? Probably not. But I might keep it. Okay, then that's going to go up there, and that's going to go up there. Well, we'll see how it holds. Where did I have? There it is, drying. I go around this in a brown. Since this is a brown colour. Fab, and I need to punch a hole in this. I'm going to do a smaller hole though. Or let's try and find the middle, shall we? Never very good at this. Let's have an attempt, shall we? I'm going to do it on the other side just in case I'm completely wrong. Does that look like the middle? Yeah, that'll do. Okay, right, and nope, not that one, picking up the wrong one. And then need to figure out where that's going on here. So that's about the middle, isn't it? Right, so using a small split pin or brad, depending where you are in the world. just going to pop that under. And on this end, again, plumping for the middle. About there maybe. Okay, what I'm going to use down here, I have these hole reinforcers. Now, yes, they are donuts, but I'm hoping once it's stuck down, you may not notice that it's supposed to be a donut. And I quite like this one. Oh, ah! I obviously don't need the middle, so we can stick that back down. And I'm going to put one on the other side. There we go. And then, where's my string gone? It's escaped me. There it is. So I am first of all just going to tie a little knot down here. Oops. Hopefully. Oh my goodness, right. I'm just going to snip off some of that so it's not quite so long. And then that folds down. And just wraps around there. And again, I'm just going to trim that because that's far too long. And there's that one. So let's have a little look. When we open this one up, we've got our notepad and we've got a pocket. So let's see what we can pop in the pocket. So I'm thinking this might make a nice little tag. I don't think that's going to be too wide though. Yeah, let's trim that down though slightly. She fits. Is that now too tall? No, it's not. It's perfect. Right. Okay, because this is green, I'm going to go brown with this one. Now there are seed packets, or a seed packet rather, should I say, in the kit, so you're quite welcome to use the one from the kit as well, and you can use elements from the kit to also decorate it. With this challenge, once you post in the Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, for each post that you make this month, so say you decide to make, I don't know, 5 seed packets, for each post that you make, so you may make one, show that, then a couple of days later you might make another one, post and show that one as well. For each post that you make, if you just use the freebies, you get 1 entry per post that you make for a prize drawing at the end of the month. If you do decide to use the one from the kit and elements from the kit to decorate, as well as the freebies, then you get 2 entries per post that you make in the group throughout the month. And then, as I say, at the end of the month, I do a prize drawing for somebody to win a kit from my shop. Okay, folks, so there's my 2 examples of my seed packets. So, as I said before, you can keep these as simple as you like. So I've just kept this as a standard pocket. I've used one of the vintage seed packet fronts on one side. I've just done some stamping on the other side, and we've got a nice big pocket ready for something to go inside. So just basic decorating on that one. Or you can step it up a bit and take it a little bit further. So this one, I've still used obviously one of the vintage pictures. I've got my word grow, and then on the other side, I'm just going to then open it up, and I've got my notepad as well as a pocket with well, a journaling card now in. But yeah, I really like how these turn out. Like I said, you can be as adventurous with these as you wish to be. The more posts that you make and post in the group, obviously the more entries that you get for the prize drawing at the end of the month. But even if you're not interested in that and you just want to play around with the papers and have some fun, as I said, you can find these freebies in the Non-Stop Papercrafts Facebook group or on my Ko-fi page. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.